from existing accounts. For example, suppose you created a new GL account and now need to create that account for each department. Or, suppose you added a new department value to your segment codes. The Create Accounts function allows you to quickly and easily create a range of new accounts. On this window, you can select accounts of a particular structure code to create accounts with a separate structure code. You can also select a range of accounts or a specific account group. You can accept the default settings for subledger details if the account range selected includes control accounts, and currency details if the account range selected includes multi-currency accounts. You can also choose to include existing accounts. In the grid, you select which segment values you are using to create the new accounts. When the Create Accounts window settings are complete, you can click the Preview button to see a list of accounts that will be created. On this preview window, you can print the list of accounts and view subledger and currency information for each account. In the grid, you can double-click the Yes in the Create column to choose whether to create the account or not. You can also edit the account information in the grid. After the accounts are configured properly on the preview window, you can close the window. And you can click on Process to create the new accounts. You can click on Clear to clear the preview list and start over. If you leave this window and return to it, the functions remain locked down as the preview accounts are still waiting to be processed. The preview accounts have now been added to the Chart of Accounts. The Chart of Accounts window is a very powerful window that provides access to all of the functions related to GL account maintenance and inquiry. On the Chart of Accounts window, you are able to see the entire chart of accounts with account information and balances provided in the grid. You can choose a different starting account or view balances for a different period ending at the top of the window. Remember that in the grid, you can also rearrange the columns to suit your needs. You can highlight a particular account and double-click on it to open the account window, or click the Open button below. You can view transaction detail for the highlighted account by clicking on the Transactions button. The Transaction History window allows you to view the detailed history for accounts, provided you have not consolidated balances or deleted history. You can view transactions through to a specific period ending, or filter the information by selecting a specific source code or source currency. In the Detail grid, you are able to perform another powerful feature, Drill Down. Double-clicking on a detail line will open up the original transaction in the GL. But it doesn't stop there. If the transaction originated in another module, you will see a drill next to the transaction entry number, allowing you to drill down to the original transaction in the subledger. And if that transaction originated in another module, you would see another drill next to the entry number. The system allows you to drill down to the original entry in the original module. Back at the Chart of Accounts, you can also perform an on-screen comparison of two separate fiscal set information for the highlighted account. From the fiscal set comparison window, you are able to compare actuals from one year to another, or actuals and budgets. As this is fiscal set information, you can compare net changes or balances period over period. You can also compare functional or source currency balances. The double blue arrow is referred to as the Go button. After selections are made at the top, you must click the Go button to refresh the grid with the new criteria selected. In the grid, you can see the period over period comparison, including the difference and percent variance for each period. Unfortunately, you cannot print this information from this window. However, the Chart of Accounts report has an option to print fiscal set comparisons. From the Chart of Accounts window, you are able to access the Budget Maintenance window for the highlighted account by clicking Budget. The Budget Maintenance window allows you to enter a period-by-period budget for the account. You can select any of the budget sets to create a budget. And you can specify a budget year and currency, either source or functional. In the grid, you can see that budgets are set per period. You can manually enter a budget amount for each period. Or, You can use one of the calculation methods on the right. A fixed amount allows you to set a fixed amount per period. Enter the amount in the field at the bottom of the calculation methods and click Add to add the amount to the budget amounts already entered in each period, or Replace to replace the budget amounts with the fixed amount. A spread amount allows you to enter an amount that will be spread across all periods. Base calculations allow you to enter a starting amount for the first period and then add either a percent or amount increase to each period after that. Finally, the copy functions relate to the amounts that can be shown in the inquiry amount column. Using the fields at the bottom for fiscal set lookup, you can populate the inquiry amount fields with real fiscal information. For example, taking the budget amounts from last year for this account, or taking actuals from last year or actuals from another similar account. Remember to click the Go button to repopulate the fields. When amounts are in the inquiry amount fields, you can use the copy calculation methods to copy the inquiry amounts as is to the budget fields, copy with a percent or amount increase, or copy with a prorated spread, which allows you to enter a spread amount and then distributes that amount based on the weights of amounts in each period in the inquiry column. Months with bigger numbers get more of the spread. When you have entered your budget information, you can click Add to record the budget amounts for the account. Back at the Chart of Accounts window, the History button allows you to access the Account History Inquiry window. This window shows the fiscal set history information for the account, including net change and balances for each period, including the adjustment and closing periods. You can select the fiscal year and source or functional currency. This window shows the opening balance for balance sheet accounts and the closing entry amount for income statement accounts. Finally, for multi-currency accounts, you can click the Currency button to view source currency balances. So, from the Chart of Accounts window, you can access all the windows for account maintenance and inquiry. In fact, the Chart of Accounts window is so comprehensive that it provides a single window access point to all of the functions that most of the icons here address. The final icon in this section is the Account Permissions icon. This icon will only be available if GL Security is enabled in GL Options. GL Security allows you to restrict access to specific accounts or segments for specific users. You must add users from Administrative Services by clicking the Zoom or Up arrow next to the New button. This window shows all available users. The detail grid below allows you to specify which account segment values the user is being granted or denied access. Note that you can also specify permissions by account also. From this window, you can print your settings for account permissions. You can also test user access by clicking on the Test button. This Finder window will show only those accounts that the user is permitted to access.
Please proceed to General Ledger Transactions.